We all have that feeling, right? That ache, that whisper that says we are capable of something more.
Oh, absolutely. It's that dream inside us, the goal that's just waiting to be, embraced.
Like that one deeply personal ambition that just makes you feel alive.
That fire, that longing for progress. It's
Yeah.
part of being human.
But, and I think we've all been here, that energy can fizzle out. It turns into wishful thinking.
You hit it right on the head. The gap between wanting it and actually achieving it can feel impossible to bridge.
Like a chasm, yeah. And that's what we're tackling today in this deep dive. No quick fixes, none of those motivational speeches that fade after a few hours.
We're going deeper.
Right, no more pressure, no more shoulds. We are diving deep into what really creates lasting change.
Which makes
Understanding who you are, like really who you are at the deepest level, and building systems that actually work for you.
systems that make reaching your aspirations almost inevitable. It's a journey, not a sprint.
Okay, so let's unpack this. When you look at those big, important goals, they can feel so overwhelming.
Oh, for sure. It's like, I want to be healthy, or I want my work to mean something, or even, I wish I had better relationships.
Those are huge, and we all feel them. And that initial desire. So powerful, but it gets stuck, you know?
How so?
It's like setting sail without a compass or a map. There's no clear direction.
So where do we even start turning these vague feelings into something real?
First things first, we have to get specific, actionable, measurable.
Can you give an example?
Absolutely. Instead of, I want to feel healthier, think, I'm going to walk for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, and eat 1 serving of veggies with every meal.
Okay, so you're breaking it down into concrete actions.
Exactly, tangible steps. And instead of, I want to be more creative, try, I will write for 30 minutes every day, even if it's just a few sentences.
I like that. Makes it less intimidating.
It makes it doable. And for better relationships, maybe schedule a weekly chat with someone you love, or you just really listen, no distractions. So we're moving from big ideas to specific actions. But even with something like writing for 30 minutes daily, how do we make it stick?
Habits. That's the key. Small, consistent habits. They're the foundation of any big achievement.
So it's not just about the end goal.
No, it's about the tiny steps you take every day to get there.
What kind of habits are we talking about?
Well, it could be preparing your writing space the night before, or setting a specific time for that weekly conversation.
So some are one-time actions and some are routines.
You got it. The beauty of habits is that they make things automatic. If you always sit down to write after your coffee, it becomes less of a struggle. Or putting your phone away when you're with loved ones.
Shows you're really present.
Right. It reinforces that desire for a deeper connection.
Okay, so we're laying the groundwork with specific goals and strong habits. But how do we keep the big picture in mind? Like, how do we track progress?
Think of your ultimate goal as the top of a mountain.
Okay, I can see that.
To get there, you need milestones along the way, markers of your progress.
Like base camps on a climb.
Exactly. And the activities you do every day are the steps that take you from one base camp to the next.
Can you give a concrete example?
Sure. Let's say your goal is to launch a creative project.
Okay.
Your milestones could be things like finishing the research, creating a prototype, getting initial feedback.
And then what?
The activities are the daily grind. Dedicating a few hours to research, writing a certain number of lines, or, sending your work to a few people for feedback.
So we're breaking it down into bite-sized pieces.
Yes. And that makes it less daunting.
But what happens when we reach that final goal? Is it over?
Great question. And honestly, that's where a lot of people get tripped up.
They go back to their old ways.
Often, yes. Because it's not just about crossing the finish line. It's about the change that happens inside you along the way.
So the transformation is as important as the goal itself.
I'd say it's even more important. You can push yourself for a short time, but lasting change comes from within.
And this brings us to identity, right? It's not just what we achieve, but who we become in the process.
Right. And here's the powerful part. We need to flip the script.
What do you mean?
We tend to think that we become who we are because of our achievements.
Makes sense.
But the real power is in deciding who you want to be first. Let that identity drive your actions.
So instead of, I want to learn a new skill, it's, I am a lifelong learner.
Exactly. That little shift makes a huge difference.
How so?
Well, if you see yourself as a learner, you'll naturally be drawn to new information, new experiences.
You're living that identity.
Yes, and it's the same for well-being. Instead of beating yourself up for not taking care of yourself.
Which I'm so guilty of.
We all are. But try affirming, I am someone who values my well-being.
So powerful.
It changes how you make decisions. You'll start prioritizing rest and rejuvenation more naturally.
So even before setting goals, we have to figure out who we want to be.
That's the foundation.
Okay, I love that. But how do we actually define this aspirational identity?
It takes some soul searching. Picture the best, most authentic version of yourself. What are their qualities? How do they act? How do they make you feel?
Painting a picture of our ideal self, not just the accomplishments.
Exactly. And once you have that picture, use it as your guide when setting goals.
Choose goals that align with who you want to become.
Precisely. It's about aligning those external goals with your internal self.
This makes so much sense. So we have a sense of who we want to be. How do we translate that into goals that actually move us forward?
Next step. Figure out your main area of focus. Look at your life, your relationships, your health, your work, your creative side. Where will progress make the biggest positive impact?
Where do our inner desires and outer goals meet?
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Once you've found that area, it's time to craft a goal that you'll actually achieve. That's where structured goal setting comes in.
So turning wishes into focused objectives.
Exactly. Structure gives our ambitions clarity and direction. Instead of, I want to be more confident, try, I'm going to have one social interaction every day that pushes me out of my comfort zone.
I love that. There's a specific action and a way to measure progress.
You got it. No more chasing abstract feelings. Or take, I want to be a better communicator. Make it concrete. I'll practice active listening for 15 minutes every day and reflect on how it went.
Laser focus.
Think of it like setting up base camp at the foot of your mountain.
You're giving us all the climbing analogies today. I like it.
Goal setting is your starting point, and it points you in the right direction.
Okay, so we have our goal. What's next? Just hope for the best.
Definitely not. This is where planning comes in. A lot of people fail, not because they don't want it enough.
But because they don't have a plan.
Exactly. You wouldn't start a road trip without a map, would you?
No way. I'd be lost in 5 minutes.
A plan is your roadmap. It bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be.
It's the how-to guide for reaching our desired outcome.
To make the journey less scary, break down your goal into milestones. Those are your checkpoints along the way.
We talked about milestones before, like base camps. How do we figure out what those checkpoints should be?
Think about your main goal. What big steps do you have to take to get there?
Give us another example.
Okay, if your goal is to finish a big creative project.
Let's say a novel.
Perfect. Your milestones might be finishing the first draft, getting feedback, and prepping it for publication.
Got it. What about the actions to get us to those milestones?
Those are your goal-oriented activities, the specific things you do every day to reach each milestone.
Break it down even further.
So for that first draft milestone, your activities could be writing for a certain amount of time each day, outlining sections weekly, and checking your progress against your deadline.
Smaller, more manageable tasks. I like it.
And to make it even more effective, try working in focused bursts.
Okay.
Consistency is key. Think of it like compound interest. Small actions build up to big results over time.
Makes sense. So planning ahead is important to ensure those daily actions happen.
Absolutely. When you map out your activities, you start your day knowing what you need to do.
It's like you said before. You're in the driver's seat.
Exactly. Minimize distractions during those focus blocks to make the most of your time.
So create dedicated workspaces without interruptions.
You got it. And look, even with the best plans, you'll have moments of doubt, you'll feel overwhelmed.
Definitely been there.
We all have. But remember, every big accomplishment is just a bunch of little steps.
One step at a time. Okay, I'm feeling better already.
Good. It's all about perspective.
So we've covered the what's and the how. What about the why? What keeps us going when things get hard?
That's intrinsic motivation. Understanding your why is like having a compass that always points you in the right direction.
So it's more than just wanting to achieve something.
It's about the deep reasons behind that desire.
Give me an example.
Let's say you want to do something creative, like write a book. Your why could be the need to express yourself, to share your ideas with the world, or even to leave a legacy behind.
And it has to be personal. Right, not what other people expect of you.
It's your fuel. It's what keeps you going when you want to quit.
So connect with that why regularly, especially during those tough times.
Absolutely. And beyond internal motivation, your environment can play a big role too.
You mean like having a dedicated workspace?
That's part of it. But it's also about surrounding yourself with things that support your goals. Even small changes can make a difference.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Think about putting reminders of your goals in places you see every day.
Like a vision board or something.
Exactly. Make it easy to do the things you want to do and harder to get sidetracked.
Design an environment that supports your intentions.
And don't forget about the people you surround yourself with.
You mean friends and family?
Them too.
Yep.
But also mentors, role models, people who are on a similar journey.
Because we need that support system.
You'll have moments when you need a boost, when you need to be inspired by others.
It's about finding your tribe.
Right. People who understand what you're going through.
Who share a similar purpose.
Exactly. On the flip side, limit your exposure to negative people.
You mean people who drain your energy?
Yes. Those who bring you down. Protect your mental space.
Surround yourself with positivity.
And don't forget to celebrate your wins, even the small ones.
Like hitting milestones or just showing up consistently.
Exactly. It reinforces your commitment and keeps you going.
Okay. We've got goals, plans, and motivation. But how do we stay on track? Life always throws curveballs.
That's where self-awareness and accountability come in. Regularly check in with yourself.
You mean like asking, am I doing what I said I would do?
Exactly. It's about being honest with yourself. Did you follow through on your plans?
So reflecting on what worked and what didn't.
It helps you identify roadblocks early on. It saves you time and energy in the long run.
You're constantly learning and adjusting.
Exactly. Compare your intentions with your results.
So how often should we be doing this?
I suggest a weekly review at the end of each week.
Okay, and what does that involve?
Reflect on your goals. Did you achieve what you set out to do? Look at your progress towards your milestones. Celebrate 3 big wins, and then plan for the next week.
And how about a monthly review?
Do that at the end of the month. It's similar to the weekly one, but you're taking a bigger picture view.
Looking at all your areas of focus.
And don't underestimate a quick daily check-in.
Just a couple of minutes at the end of the day.
Ask yourself, did I do my 3 main goal activities today? And what can I do differently tomorrow?
Keeping yourself accountable.
It's a little thing that makes a big difference.
So we're planning, acting, and reviewing. That's the cycle of progress. But what about those really big goals, the ones that seem almost impossible?
Those are the exciting ones.
Yeah.
And the principles are the same, but you have to approach them a little differently.
How so?
Start by asking yourself a big question. What do you really want, deep down?
Not what you think you should want.
Or what seems realistic right now. What does your heart truly desire? Imagine there are no limits. What would you create? What would you experience? Who would you become?
Dream big.
Don't let doubts hold you back.
Once we have that vision, how do we start making it a reality?
It always comes back to these 3 things. A clear goal, a plan, and discipline. You've got the goal, now it's planning time.
But planning can be tough when you don't know the whole path.
That's true. And with these mega goals, you might only see the first few steps.
So we plan what we can and then adapt as we go.
Yes, it's a constant cycle of planning and adjusting. But the most important thing is discipline.
Being able to stick with it, even when it's hard.
Exactly. It's about commitment no matter what obstacles come your way.
There's that framework for these big goals, something about A, B, and C goals.
Right. A goals are the things you know you can achieve. They're not that inspiring, though.
They're not pushing us.
B goals are more ambitious. You have to stretch a bit, but you believe you can do them. But C goals, those are the game changers. They're what you deeply desire, but you have no clue how to get there.
They're the ones that really transform us.
The how will reveal itself as you go. Stay focused on that C goal and trust that you can figure it out.
So when setting C goals, we don't need to plan everything out perfectly from the start.
Exactly. Just focus on a few things. What you want, a way to track your progress, and your why.
Because with mega goals, the exact steps might not be clear, and people might question you.
But if you keep your vision clear, track your progress, even if it's small, and remember your why, you'll have everything you need to move forward.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So we talked about visualizing our goals. How does that work in practice?
Once you know what you want, create a vivid picture in your mind of yourself having already achieved it. Use all your senses.
But it's more than daydreaming, right?
It is. When you repeatedly visualize your goal, it sinks into your subconscious. And then your subconscious starts working for you, even when you're not aware of it. It starts finding ideas and opportunities that align with your vision.
I like that.
And you can amplify this effect by writing down your goals every day, morning and night.
Keeping them top of mind.
Exactly. It reinforces your commitment. And for those mega goals, Try a daily brainstorming session, even just 20 or 30 minutes.
To generate ideas on how to achieve them.
Exactly. Let your mind wander. You'll be surprised at what you come up with.
So brainstorming is essential for unearthing those hidden pathways to our mega goals. And to make sure all of this works, a good morning routine seems key.
Oh, absolutely. A good morning routine sets the stage for your entire day.
It's about taking control and starting the day with intention.
A well-designed routine should help you clear your mind, cultivate positive emotions, energize your body, and connect with your purpose.
So many important elements. How can we fit it all in?
Start by incorporating activities that address each of those elements. It could be setting intentions for the day, practicing gratitude, moving your body, or just taking some time for quiet reflection.
That sounds like a lot. Is there a perfect morning routine that works for everyone?
Not really. It's about finding what works for you. And be flexible. Life happens, so be ready to adapt. The key is to consistently show up for yourself.
Progress over perfection?
Exactly.
Are there any common pitfalls to avoid when creating a morning routine?
The big ones are hitting snooze, checking your phone first thing, and diving into emails before taking care of your own needs.
That's me every morning.
It's easy to fall into those habits, but they can drain your energy and make you feel reactive instead of proactive.
Okay, so prioritize yourself first thing. Got it.
Exactly. It sets a better tone for the rest of the day.
Wow, this deep dive has been so insightful. We've covered so much ground about setting goals, creating systems, and having the right mindset.
We talked about clarity, intention, habits, reflection, adaptation. It's a lot, but it's all connected.
And it all starts with that emotional connection to our dreams.
Exactly. It's about tapping into your why, your passions, learning and growing our journeys fueled by those deep motivations.
So powerful.
Remember, you have all the tools you need to make those dreams happen.
So as you think about everything we've discussed, ask yourself, what's one small step you can take today that aligns with who you want to be and what you want to achieve?
Because that one tiny step taken with intention can lead to amazing transformations.
You have the power within you. Now go make it happen.